Hey there, guys and gals. Just wanted to give a quick piano lesson on this song that I swear every high school girl is forced to learn almost. Like, I don't know what happens when girls turn 16 or 17, but I think they're all forced to watch the French film Amélie, and then by default they need to learn this song. I mean, I must have taught this like, I don't know, 8 or 9 times over the last few years. And it is a nice film, so I do recommend it. It's quirky and, you know, way French and super indie and all that stuff. And the song is nice. It's by the French composer Yann Tiersen. And it has a kind of a long name, and my French sucks. I want to say it's Comptine, autre or something. I will spell it right in the title. But I just wanted to go over a few of the main issues I tend to find with this piece when I am teaching it to my students. It deals mostly in chord fluency and how smoothly one can transfer from the 4 chords that are present in the song. And then the second tends to deal with the fluidity and ease of the 16th note arpeggios in kind of the chorus section. So I did just want to go over some hints and tips that have helped my students in the past, and I hope it'll help you as well. So to begin, the song is in E minor. If you don't know what that is, shame on you. Come on. And the whole song deals with 4 chords: E minor, G major, B minor, and D major. The whole entire song is diatonic. There's no accidentals, which is nice. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, it really is quite a simple piece, because the entire last half is a total repetition of the first half. Just the right hand's an octave higher, so that saves you like half the work. And let's just kind of delve into what I found to be helpful with the 4 chords. So the first chord is an E minor chord. Then it goes to a G major chord, then to a B minor chord, and then to a D major chord. And the whole segment that's pretty much what the left end does the whole time. But I find that students tend to have issue transitioning between them all. And here is what I'd recommend. First of all, I'd say for sure practice blocked, like this. And then what I like to do is show the students how nearby G major is. If you notice, all that's happening is my pinky and thumb just move down, because G major is in that first, second inversion, sorry. So it goes from that E minor root, and all you do is slide down on that. And then for the next chord, the B minor, even easier, all that happens is your third finger moves down to that F sharp. And then for the last chord, also not too bad, all that happens is your second finger moves down to that A to hit that D major. Now, what I like to have my students realize is they tend to view each chord separately and not see, you know, how nearby and how many common tones are present in each of these chords. So I like them to play these chords and just slide between them so they can see how less and small they have to move. I tend to find they try to over-exaggerate it because the chords are crazy and they're going, oh my god, we have these crazy chords. Ah! And instead of just realizing, oh, okay, look, I'm just sliding down, slowly sliding down. That is what I would really recommend for the first step. And don't worry about breaking it up into that pattern. I would just say, play with each chord just in its full blocked form. See how smoothly you can get through to each one. That to me is my main hint for how to get good with this left hand. And then even to break it up, there's so many ways to break it up. You can break it up this way. But and I would also stress, make sure the hand is loose and relaxed. Lots of times I'll see students and they'll get, and their hands will look all crazy like this. And I'm just like, whoa, chill it out. Get that hand loose. Get it loosey-goosey. Caress those keys. Yeah, it should feel good. Silky. There it is. Really small amount of effort. Maybe a little crescendo. But keep that wrist loose. Keep it bobbing. once again. So those are my main hints for the left hand, is understand how nearby the chords are from each other. And don't stress so much about like, oh no, I have 4 different chords, those are a bunch of different notes. Yeah, realize that so many of the tones are in common and you can just really slide between them and keep that wrist loose. If you're struggling so much and it feels like you have to exert yourself, then it's going to have a really, like, I don't know, rough, jagged sound to it, which isn't what we're going for. We want it to sound flowy and pretty and all that stuff. Okay, part 2, I'm going to push pause. This is probably going to be awkward, but I'm going to switch angles. Okay, now for the right hand, the main issue isn't the verse part of it, which goes... That isn't too bad because most of the notes are centralized and it's nothing really particularly difficult, and I find most students really don't have any issue with that. Mostly I just make sure they're not doing anything awkward with where their thumb is located, so they don't have any unnecessary crossovers. The main issue tends to be where it goes into the 16th note part. That part tends to get really jagged, and it always feels forced, and I don't know, too many accents, and the phrasing tends to get lost. And we always want that pretty phrase. And once again, it gets the same effect that happens with the left hand, where it sort of feels forced and unnatural, and the flow is lost. And I find I was able to boil this down to 2 main factors. Firstly, I found that students tend to segregate the idea incorrectly to begin with. So there is a pattern with the right hand. However, it's easier to view the pattern in terms of when the thumb plays. So the thumb plays, you know, more or less every like 3 notes. So I find that they tend to focus so much on when the thumb occurs that the pattern, that they shape the pattern incorrectly. Because the shape is 4 16th notes, but if the thumb is playing every 3 notes, they tend to have it wrong up here. So when they try to force it in, it feels incorrect. So they would tend to play it almost with like a triplet feel. Because it's easy to see, okay, my thumb is here. Whoa, that's weird. My thumb is here, I get it. Oh, that's weird. Thumb, thumb, thumb. I don't know, thumb. And that's not really the best way to look at it. First, I would say, let's not create the initial bias of having that thumb be seen as sort of like the start point of the pattern. I would say, let's just view it as groups of 4. As much as you can, avoid having that heavy thumb, which I know it's awkward because the thumb's heavier than these guys. But try to just play it smoothly, so you just view it as a whole with groups of 4. Notice I'm trying to accent huckleberry, 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 huckleberry. And that way, where I force that accent to happen at the beginning of each group of 4, it gets me out of the prone habit of wanting to punch that thumb out. It's like when we first learn arpeggios, we always want to do it in triplets. Because that's when the thumb falls, so it's easy to go, oh, it's a pattern of 3 notes, here's the thumb, bonk, 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 bonk. But really the best way to practice arpeggios is to discipline the thumb and get that guy quiet, get it under control, and play, you know, arpeggios in groups of 4, you know. Then there you can really feel the flow of the 16th notes. That's kind of the same. So and anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but that's okay. It's like kind of a one take. So don't judge me, or do judge me and leave, you know, mean comments. That's fine. So once you get the idea that the 16th notes, if you view them correctly as groups of 4, that for sure will help. That's a good initial step, because it helps it be more in sync with the left hand, because the left hand are 8th notes, so it's much easier to comprehend the ratio of 4 to, you know, of 2 to 1. We have 16th notes versus eighth note. That's easy. It's just 2 16th notes per eighth note. Whereas if you're viewing the 16th notes kind of in a 3 group, then that's a more complicated to fit in because it's kind of a 3 against 2 thing you're going for, which you don't need to do because it's not even how it should be anyway. Now, the main other thing I see, and this is, I said 2 points, it's kind of 3 points. One, though, I sort of brought up with the left hand, is everyone struggles too much with the right hand. They're doing so much stuff, and I'm just like, hey, relax it. Keep the hand calm. No need to over-exaggerate and punch everything out. Things should be, I'm trying to see if you can see my hand here. Things should be relaxed. This isn't me exaggerating. When I'm playing, I like my arm to follow my hand. If it's stiff at all, then I'm flexing. Nothing is natural. Nothing is loose. So keep, if you keep this flow, first of all, it's not going to take much effort to execute because it's going to be feeling natural. That was bad English. And the sound, it's not going to take much exertion, and it's not going to feel like you're going against the grain because you're being natural. The arm wants to be loose, the wrist wants to be free. You don't want to go against and just be flexing the whole time. So yeah, I feel like you don't want to be flexing the whole time. So and then for my last point that tends to mess students up is I find that they get confused with where the theme placement is, and it is correct that the theme is a bit syncopated there. And like if I were to play the right hand, I will exaggerate the theme. And you'll note that it comes across not always on the main parts of the beat. Now you don't want to play that like that. I just was intentionally exaggerating it. But what I like to do is then boil it down. What is the theme? Now, what I would really recommend with that is get used to how that feels without any of the other crap going on. Lots of times they'll have students just play, something basic. I'm just going to hit E the whole time here, just on the main parts of the beat, and I'm just going to play that theme. You know what? I'm not even going to play the theme. I'm just going to play the rhythm. I want you to get used to how that feels. Right now that's quarter notes, whatever, in the left. Now, that's not how obviously it's written, but I want to do more macro versions of the rhythm so you can tackle the rhythm itself. I don't want you to get too lost within the notes itself and all of the intricacies of fingering. Let's just figure out is this thing in focus here? God, there it is. Now it's focused. I don't want you to get lost in what all the other crap is so far. Like, just figure out what that rhythm is. Hum it. Bum, 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 bum. Feel that beat before trying to execute it, because then you're not going to feel like you're going against the grain. I would then say slowly add in the left hand as is. So, next good step would be double the left hand speed, so we're doing eighth notes. Maybe go to the chord. Then try the chord twice, speed. And then once you feel like you got the gist of that, go ahead and play with the 16th notes, but no need to rush and go straight to the 8th notes in the left hand. Feel free to still block the chord. I always think that's a great method because you are able to get the fingering that you desire solid, while still getting the overall feel of it because you're playing the correct chords with it. But and then slowly, we can work up to breaking it up, But I would stress at all times, make sure you're loose with it. And can't stress it always looks against the grain. Like, that's how it always will start at first. And I'm going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Chill it out, man. You're like way too stressed. Like, I feel like maybe you should like play this piece like right when you wake up, when you're like sleepy. Like, don't care so much about, oh my god, the nose, ow, 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 ow. None of that. Let's just really chill it out. Just feel how this feels. You know, like I said a few minutes ago, don't worry about the syncopation of the theme always with the right hand. See what it feels like just to play groups of 4 versus the groups of 2. Huckleberry, 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 huckleberry. Is this thing getting out of focus? Sorry about that. Just feel what it's like to have the 2s, you know, the 8s against the 16th notes. Just see what that feels like. Get that sound comfortable. Have everything loose. Then when you slowly add it in. Oh, man. No big deal. Just chill it out. Who really cares about fingering? Feel the flow of the harmony more? Now maybe less? Maybe more? I don't know, it's kind of up to you. I don't really care. Now here it comes. Just chill it out. Crescendo. And I know I ended that not on the octave higher, so feel free to leave hate comments. And I know that video is kind of going blurry, so I'll try to fix that for next time. But yeah, I hope you found some of these comments helpful. It is a great song, and it's, you know, I've been playing this song now, I don't know, for years. And it's always a great crowd pleaser. I still enjoy playing it. I kind of, you know, make fun of how, you know, relatively simple it is. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it doesn't have any worth. I do sometimes get, you know, a bit peeved when I'll be playing a concert or, you know, like some background music for a reception, and I'll be playing a Chopin nocturne or a movement from a Beethoven sonata, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And then I'll play this, and everyone's like, oh my god, I love that song. Oh, can you play it again? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but I did play a Chopin nocturne, but I guess that's not a big deal, is it? So that's cool. I'm just kind of joking around. Anyway, so if you like this video, I would appreciate the thumbs up and the subscribe and all that crap. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching.